Next up on Wrestlecast, then, it's a privilege and an honour. Kurt Angle is here. How are you, Kurt?
I'm doing fantastic.
You're looking very good.
Thank you. It's great to be back, and it's great to be back representing TNA.
Yeah, and the thing is, I noticed straight away meeting you in reception here, you've got that smile back.
Yes,
I think I saw you at a show in Birmingham just to the tail end of the WWE years, and you're walking around and you're like, I'm Kurt, sign my book. And you're like,
yeah, I was miserable, man. I couldn't wait to get out, and when I had the opportunity, I took advantage of it, and it worked out great.
Is this light schedule working as well for you?
Yeah, the lighter schedule has been a lot better for me. Although I do spend a lot of time on the road promoting TNA, they don't have me wrestling as much, which has helped me dramatically. Yeah.
Can you explain to the listeners exactly the difference between WWE and TNA schedules?
I'll give you an example, and it only pertains to myself and John Cena when we were in WWE. We were utilized not just as wrestlers that wrestled 250 days a year. On our off days, we had to do autograph signings, promotions for WWE. We had to do commercials, stuff like that. So we were on the road well over 300 days a year. We didn't get to go, John Cena. I think Vince McMahon was very happy that he was young and single. I was married and I had 2 kids by the time I quit WWE, and I never got to see my kids. My oldest daughter would call me Kurt. She didn't even know I was her dad because I was never home. She thought I was like a friend that dropped by every once in a while. So I was lucky to get home one day a week, if that.
There were sort of problems between you and your wife. Was that caused by being on the road so much?
Oh, without a doubt. It was that and my painkiller addiction in 2005 when I broke my neck again, and I was on a really ragged schedule, which WWE would not take me off of, although I had 4 broken vertebrae. They continued to just push me on the road and drive me into the ground, and before I knew it, I was hooked on painkillers. I can't blame the WWE for that. I mean, I was the one that was doing it, but I was taking a high amount, enough to kill somebody. So I wanted to go to rehab, and Vince McMahon denied that, told me I could do it on my own on the road because I'm an Olympic gold medalist and all that bull crap. And that's when it went downhill between me and Vince. And that's when I decided I was going to go elsewhere. That's when I started watching TNA, and I noticed this company was growing real quickly, and I wanted to be part of history. WWE at the time was really stagnant. Storylines weren't real good. A lot of the wrestlers were injured. They didn't have a lot of talent for me to work with. And I looked at TNA, and I saw a huge opportunity of a lot of talent to work with. And within 2 or 3 years from now, they're going to be fighting for the ratings against WWE, even Raw, their best show. And to be a part of that is so much more important to me than being champion or being in WWE and making $4 million a year, whatever I was making. To me, the money is important, but also it's important to go down in history as doing something good in the sport of pro wrestling as I did in Olympic wrestling.
And as you get older, you appreciate things more, don't you, as well? So it's, it's definitely like that. Yeah. Now, I used to obviously read the internet, listen to American, Canadian radio shows right at the the start of TNA, and they're talking about this guy Samoa Joe, and I'm like, I'm trying to get on YouTube and trying to get the DVD sent over from the States and everything.
Sure.
The only time I've been so excited in the last maybe 10, 15 years, I even posted a thing on Joe's MySpace when you said that you're going to TNA, it was just like Angle Joe. It was an explosion of the trousers. It was just going to be...
And we did it right away.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing we did is we went face-to-face, and I gave him a real headbutt. And 28 stitches, I split him open, and it started from there. And you know what? After that, when I gave him that hard headbutt, he gave me some good receipts in our matches. We went at it. I mean, it was like the real deal. It almost felt like a real MMA fight, you know? So Joe has the same kind of philosophy as me. I'm very stiff in the ring. I try to make it look very real, which it is very real. And Joe does the same thing, so we're beating the hell out of each other.
It's not to diss the WWE, but if you have a look at the talent roster, from both sides, and you write them down on paper, TNA has got the biggest amount of talent.
Yeah.
To be honest,
right now we do have the biggest amount of talent. WWE is struggling, and not only that, but you have to remember WWE has 5 hours of programming a week they have to fill. That's why you're seeing Vince McMahon on TV a lot. He's taking up a lot of the time because they don't have a lot of the wrestlers that they used to. TNA has homegrown so many great wrestlers, and actually taking, myself and Booker T, and obviously we picked up Sting. He's part-time with us, but we have so many great superstars, and when you go down the roster, it's not just the heavyweight division, it's the X division.
That was the first thing that brought me in, and I really hope it doesn't finish, because that was the really unique thing about TNA. You'd watch it and you've seen these guys, and you're like, Jesus, these guys, AJ, Christopher Daniels, Joe at the time, they're just out of this world. I've never seen anything like that in this country.
The X division is really what makes TNA special. I mean, the heavyweight division, we have some great wrestlers there. We got 12 really good main event wrestlers right now. We're looking to double that in the near future with guys like Robert Roode, James Storm, Kaz.
Big fan of Kaz.
Oh, Kaz is a great wrestler. WWE dropped the ball with him, and the TNA picked him up early before he was a nobody and made him into really something. Other wrestlers like that. Also, you have the X division that's just as important as the heavyweight division. When you compare that with the cruiserweight division WWE, there's no comparison.
And then you just go with it, and it's been the highlight of your program over the past few weeks. Awesome Kong.
The women's division's great.
Gail Kim, and I was really pleased that you went with this in the main event, because nobody'd ever do
great
that.
Women's division in the main event.
Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, just haven't had a bad match yet. Just
what a great call. Yeah. We actually had a women's division match.
I don't know if that's ever happened before
in the main event. Never. And it was awesome. Awesome Kong has been one of the best additions this year to our group, besides Booker T. She is without a doubt one of the most dominant female wrestlers I've ever seen. She makes China look like crap.
Yeah.
I mean, Awesome Kong knows how to wrestle, and she's big, strong. She weighs 280 pounds. She could probably whip my butt. I don't want to get in the ring with her in the near future, but I actually came up with an idea, and I presented to Jeff Jarrett, and I said, why don't you have me wrestle her? We could have a hell of a match. And he said, Kurt, I don't really want to push her that way like they did with China. He goes, we're going to push her in a different way with the women. And I said, well, it'd be an entertaining match. I mean,
would you lie down for her?
No, I wouldn't. But I would let her beat the hell out of me, but I'd have to win in the end. Yeah, I definitely.
Would you be allowed to do it? Because don't Spike say you can't have men versus women matches?
I think that has a lot to do with it. Spike, you know what? We really listen to Spike. We're very attentive to them. They have a representative there, the head of programming, Mr. Fishman. He actually, looks over our programming. That's why WWE lost their job with Spike, is because Vince would not listen to Spike. Vince was very rebellious as far as how he ran his show. A lot of swearing, a lot of tasteless humor, stuff that Spike didn't really want on their station. Why don't we drop WWE and pick up TNA? So it was a great move for both parts.
And the really good thing is as well, too, bits of great news this week is that obviously you've been moved to Bravo over here from Bravo 2. So I mean that's great. So that'll the ratings will pick up in that. Announced that you're doing the tour of the UK, a few dates in the UK, which would be brilliant because we see a lot of the Ring of Honor stuff, and the indie shows come over here. Yes. Maybe have a splattering of TNA guys, but to have the full TNA experience,
full roster, everybody's coming. We're not holding back. We're not gonna. It's not just going to be, Kurt Angle and AJ Styles. It's going to be everybody. It's going to be the whole roster. Samoa Joe, Abyss, even Sting's coming. Booker
T.
Oh yeah, we're pulling out all stops for this one because you guys are our number one market besides the United States, and we have to keep it that way. Mm-hmm. And we're also obviously going to go to other European countries. We've been going to Asia, but the UK is our number one country outside the United States, and we want that, and we're gonna continue to have that in the future. We like to come over here 2 or 3 times a year, and the more the better, because it's very hard for people here. They watch it on TV, they don't get to see it very often. In the United States, we hit cities 5 or 6 times a year, the same cities, so they kind of get spoiled.